I've worked with hundreds of people planning for retirement. And during this period, I've noticed two groups. The first group was constantly worried about running out of money, while the second group didn't have those same worries. This is because the second group did something differently, something that kept their money working for them instead of disappearing. And today I'm going to show you exactly what that is. Most people believe if they hit a certain savings number, then they're set for life. But what they don't realize is that saving for retirement and sustaining and continuing to have those assets during their retirement are two completely different things. Retirement isn't a finish line. It's maybe a 30 or 40-year chapter. And so your money isn't there just sitting in the bank waiting for you to spend it. It's under attack. Inflation creeps in and makes everything more expensive. $1 today is not the same thing as $1 tomorrow. A retiree that needs $50,000 today will probably need more like $70,000 a decade from now. Healthcare is another hit. And the average couple that hits 65 will need just over $300,000 for healthcare expenses in retirement. And that is if they stay healthy. And then there's the stock market. A bad correction can really change your balance in your account. And if you don't have a strong investment strategy or plan, can have lasting detrimental implications for your retirement plan. All of this can add up to retirement accounts that look strong at the start of retirement, but as retirement goes on, can end up disappearing and not supporting your plan as much as they could or should have. It's not about spending too much. It's having a plan in place to protect what you have worked so hard to build by saving and investing. But there's a way to avoid this. The wealthiest don't just rely on hope that their retirement savings are going to last. They don't just cross their fingers and hope that they see a stable stock market during their retirement. They follow a completely different plan, one that guarantees that their money keeps coming in no matter what happens. And the way they do it, well, it all comes down to cash flow. Most people approach retirement the wrong way. They ask, how much money do I need to retire? Then they come up with a big number and they picture it just sitting in an account looking like a number that is safe and feels secure. But they forget the truth that savings, well, that can run out, but cash flow, that typically does not. This is where wealthy retirees are playing a completely different game. They don't think about retirement as some sort of lump sum that they're slowly draining. They focus on creating steady, reliable income that eventually replaces their paycheck. I've seen people with $1 million struggle in retirement, and I've seen people with half of that amount live very comfortably for decades. The difference isn't how much they saved, it is how they structured their income. Retirees who go broke do the same thing. They pull money out of their savings account as they need it, hoping it will somehow last. But every time they withdraw, they shrink their principal or their nest egg. If they withdraw too much too soon, then they actually run the risk of running out of money. And if they withdraw too little, then they're unnecessarily limiting their lifestyle. And if the market drops after they retire, then they're losing money even faster. But wealthy people don't touch their savings like most people do. They set up systems that generate income for them and keeps generating income for them even after they retire. They create income streams that pay them every single month, no matter what happens in the market. That's why they don't worry about running out of money. The money is constantly being replenished. So if we have a recession, there's not the need for panic. That's why inflation doesn't scare them, because instead of asking how much do I have left, they're asking how much am I bringing in? And when you focus on cash flow versus savings, you stop worrying about whether your money is going to last because your money doesn't stop coming in. So how do you set this up? So let's talk about this in the next section. So in retirement, most people are focused on income from Social Security, pensions, annuity, their 401k plan. The focus is typically on just one of these sources of income. But one source of income is typically not enough, because what happens if something happens to that one source of income or that source of income dries up? Then you need to have at least another to replace it. So wealthy retirees are aware of this, and this is why they typically have at least 3 different streams of income and retirement. Now, their first stream of income is typically what we call guaranteed income. So this is something along the lines of Social Security. This is money that comes in automatically every month, and it is the foundation. So this can be Social Security, or if you're lucky enough to have a pension or an annuity plan, this would be included in that guaranteed stream of income. The second stream of income is investment income. This is where you put your money in your 401k or investment account and buy stocks and bonds. And this is the way that you generate income from those investments so that your money is working for you. So that when you do have to take money out, you're not just eating into your principal, you're eating into maybe some of the growth that that portfolio or the income or interest that that portfolio has generated. So in the second stream, some investors might buy dividend paying stocks. Some investors might actually purchase rental property and live off of the income that they receive from that rental property. There are various options for generating income from your investments. The third and final income stream is a flexible income stream that maybe lets you do a little bit of additional spending on expenses that are not essential in retirement. And this third stream of income is income from things like consulting, maybe an online business, maybe a side hustle that you have that generates extra income that makes you feel very comfortable in retirement, so that maybe you have a little bit of extra cushion so that you can do additional spending and retirement that you would like to. So this stream of income isn't about necessarily just replacing a career. It's not working full time. It's having some additional cash flow coming in from maybe some work that is done on the side. This income provides an extra layer of security that lets retirees live exactly how they would like to. When all 3 streams of incomes come together, the results are a retirement that feels effortless. All 3 streams work together so that they can have the retirement that they've pictured. The guaranteed income covers their basics or their necessities, and then the other 2 streams of income fill in the additionals. The investment income grows over time, so inflation isn't a concern. The flexible income allows for security, so it allows retirees to spend freely without any fears. That's why wealthy retirees don't run out of money. They don't just have a savings account, they have a financial engine, one that keeps running year after year for as long as they need it. And you don't have to be ultra wealthy to do this. You just need the right strategy. But before you can set any of this up, you need to know what your particular number is. Because without knowing what your number is, you're just guessing, and guessing is the fastest way to run out of money. It's not about how much you have, it's about how much you take out every single year. I've seen retirees with millions of dollars run out of money because they took out too much too fast. But I've also seen retirees with less who were able to live comfortably in retirement because they had a sustainable withdrawal rate. Here's how it works. So let's say you start retirement with $1 million, but every year you're taking out $100,000 to live off of. If you were to do this in this scenario, you would be draining your account too fast. Your withdrawal rate would be too high for the market to keep up with, even if we had a great market. But if you took out $40,000 a year or 4% of your portfolio a year, your portfolio would have a much better chance of lasting longer because you're taking out a withdrawal rate that is sustainable. Your investments can make up that 4% withdrawal rate versus taking out $100,000 where you have a much higher withdrawal rate. It's important to think about things in terms of sustainability, not just total amounts of savings that you have. Wealthy retirees don't guess. They run the numbers. They create a withdrawal plan. Their withdrawal plans are also visited and revisited at least once a year. And in their plans, they look at what streams of income they have, what does their tax situation look like, what kind of lifestyle or activities do they have. And these withdrawal plans are also adjusted when necessary. They understand that staying rich in retirement isn't about having a giant pile of cash. It's about making sure that the money that they do have lasts as long as they do. And that's what I help my clients figure out, because if you don't know your number, then you're gambling with your future. And that is a risk that you don't have to take. So this is why so many retirees run out of money before they ever expected to. They worked, they saved, they thought they had enough until unexpectedly they didn't. Because staying rich in retirement isn't about hitting some massive number in your account. It's about having a plan that lets you live the way you want without fear. So ask yourself, do you know how much you can withdraw each year without running out of money? Do you have cash flow systems in place to keep your income steady no matter what happens in the market? If not, then you are guessing, and guessing is the fastest way to go broke in retirement. But you don't have to guess. I can help. I've helped hundreds of people figure out their numbers, structure and create cash flow systems that generate income so that their retirement is successful. I'm offering a complimentary financial plan to help you do the same. Go ahead and click the link in the description to set up your time for a complimentary financial planning session. Thank you and have a lovely day.